All right, welcome back. In the last session module, we got started with Azure repos, right? We understood about Git. We started with code source management with Azure repos, understood how you can migrate repos from GitHub to Azure DevOps, performed a bunch of pull requests, understood the branching strategy on local, what is Git fetch and Git pull, and then at the end we did a bit of Git stashing also. In this session, we're going to get started with continuous integration and delivery. Now, one of the best part with Azure DevOps is it not only comes with the YAML-based approach, which is a modern CI/CD mechanism, like which comes with any of the YAML-based approach comes with any of the CI/CD platform, be it GitHub, Bitbucket, or GitLab, or any of those CI/CD tools. However, Azure DevOps gives you a UI also, so that you can manually click through the GUI. And even if you're not a dev or infra or a DevOps consultant, you can, coming from some other background, you can really quickly get started with this classic panel, and then you can get started. So in this session, I'm gonna introduce you to the classic strategy of Azure DevOps to build your CI/CD platform. So it's going to be an infrastructure deployment and then a Python deployment on top of an Azure Web Application Service. So what I already have is a portal open in front of me, which has only two resource group. We're going to create a new resource group. Then we're going to create an app services. So app services is a managed services into Azure where you can deploy your serverless application. All right. So I don't have any app services at the moment. Cool. What we're gonna do is using our Azure DevOps pipeline, we're gonna create a new pipeline, and then we're gonna use see how you can manually use the GUI to click through it and create a very seamless pipeline. All right, so I'm going to use the classic editor. The rest of is a YAML based approach. So I'm going to click on the classic editor. I've already got the repository, which is a Python repository. Right over here, just click on continue, and I'm going to create an empty job. Now, if you look at over here, there are a bunch of by default templates already available. So you want to build it for .NET application, you build it for Xcode as well. So for that iOS application, you can use that also. For now, I'm going to use an empty job, and then empty job would have a bunch of options. Now you can start adding tasks on top of it. All right. So the first one is I'm going to use a CLI. So it's going to be Azure CLI. Because I want to run a bunch of Azure commands so that it can spin up the resource group and all of them. I've already got a connection created. We know how you can create the connection so that Azure DevOps can speak with Azure so that it can perform any of the create, delete, update operation. This is going to be a batch script because a simple one-liner shell command. Either you can use the script path so that you can give a batch script path and that path would be run iteratively, or you can just use the inline script. I'm going to use the inline script, and the first thing what we're going to do is we're going to create a resource group. So it's going to be AZ group create, give the location, which is going to be West Europe, could be any of your choice, and then the name of your resource group, which is going to be Azure DevOps Python Web. All right. And then you've got a bunch of other arguments, whether you want to fail on error also, and all of them. So we are going to just name it as resource group, right? And then add the plus sign again, use the same CLI marketplace application. And this is going to be a plan, which is a service plan. And I'm going to use the service connection to have a communication between both of them, batch script, inline, and this is going to be AZ app service plan create name of the app service. So this is going to be web app plan, and then what? Resource group hyphen group, and then the name of the resource group, which we can pick up from the previous task. This would be created and then would be used by the plan, and when we need the SQ also, right, which is F1. Guess this would be in small letters so that it's completely fine. And the third and the final task for infrastructure is creating the web app. All right, so plan is first created, before that resource group needs to be created, and then the application web app. Same task again, Script type going to be bash, and this is going to be inline script, which is going to be az WebApp create name. Let's probably give it my name, Shan Dev Plan, and resource group, right? Because has to be created some sort of resource group, and we can pick the resource group name right from here. Just the name, put it right over here, and then the plan, right? The plan would come right from here, and we're just going to remove this typo, and yeah, that's about it. So this is going to create the resource group. Subsequently, it's going to create the plan, and then we're going to use the same resource group name onto this plan, and then we're going to use the plan and resource group name on the web app also. All right, so this is just to give you a demo, this just to give you a gist of how you can utilize these by default tasks available into Azure DevOps, and you don't have to write kind of codeless CI/CD pipeline. You don't have to write any YAML and all of them. Just use these pipeline, feed in your um, mandatory information, and then you can get started. You can always fetch the YAML also, which we're going to learn how you could do it in upcoming sessions, so don't worry about it. Just going to give a new name to it, AZDO web and that's about it. So I'm going to run it, save and queue it. It's going to run on a specific agent, so that's going to be, could be Windows, Mac OS, or any flavor of Linux. I'm going to keep it Windows, doesn't matter to me. So I'm going to just hit on save and run, and now it's going to trigger the pipeline and see if there are any errors. If there would be any errors, we were just going to fix it right away, and then we can see how we can just troubleshoot the pipeline also. All right. So yeah, let it run, and this time it is trying to acquire the agent because we are using the free version of Azure DevOps. It kind of pulls out the agent first, wherein it's going to run all of the tasks which we have defined. So it's running the first task, which is to create the Azure resource group. And then once it is done, under that same resource group, it's going to create a service plan. So the resource group is now created. As you can see, the green text suggests that the pipeline or the task was successful. Moves on to the next one, creating the plan for us. And once the plan is created under the same resource group, we're going to have the Azure web application also. Plan is done also. Moving on to the last step, which is web app. If you go to our resource group, just hit on refresh, we have the new resource group available right over here. We should have a plan underneath it within a few seconds, and then an application app services also. So just going to give it a few seconds, and then we're going to head on to Azure portal again. So this is just to give you again an idea. You could just use any of your other tech stack also, be it a Java application, be it a Node, Python, or .NET also, and you can use the Azure pipeline to just quickly see how your pipeline would holistically look. All right, so that's been done. I'm just going to hit on refresh so that we understand if we can verify if the application resources are created or not. So we have got the app services plan now. Within a few seconds, we should have the app services also. Here you go. In the next session, what we're going to do is we're going to deploy the simple Python application on this app services. I hope this was informative. Thank you.